The world needs robots. And one of the reasons for that is we just don't have enough workers. You know, there's a aging population and a changing in preference of the type of work that people want to do, and the birth rate is declining, and the world needs more workers. And so the timing is really relatively imperative that we have robotic systems. The technology of building general humanoid robots, which is going to be the most useful, of course, because we built the world around ourselves. That technology is incredibly hard to do. But for the very first time, with transformers and these large language models and the breakthroughs that we're seeing with foundation models, we finally have the technology necessary, we think, to be able to make a real contribution in this area. There are several things that we have to bring together. First, the robot has to understand us, and the breakthroughs in ChatGPT, for example, has really made that possible. But what's missing is that we now need a AI that understands the physical world. It has to understand the dynamics of the physical world, like gravity, inertia, friction, and it has to understand spatial relationships and geometric relationships, and common sense things like object permanence and things like that. And so we went off to create essentially the ChatGPT or the Llama of world models, and it's called World Foundation Model, just like a language foundation model. This is a foundation model that understands worlds. And so if we could create such a thing, and that's what Cosmos is, and we made it available openly for everyone, hopefully this will really ignite and accelerate the development of robotics.
I love that. And when it comes to teaching robotics, I know there were some announcements made around Isaac Groot as well, especially around virtual reality training. Where do you see the future of that, or the possibilities of that opening up for?
Well, the first part of training an AI is you have to give them foundation knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay, common sense knowledge. The second part is you have to fine-tune them in skills. You have to teach them things. And the way you teach a general robotics is kind of like the way you teach a person. You show it to them. And so you use human demonstration and you show them this is the way you pick up a glass. But every time the glass is a little bit different, its position a little different, the height's a little different, and the shape's a little different. And yet it's basically picking up a glass of water. And so using Isaac Groot, we could do a few human demonstrations, and then using AI, using Cosmos and Omniverse to generate a whole bunch of future versions of it. And so then we generate a whole bunch of versions of different sizes and different locations and placements, and we give all of that training data, like imitation data, to the robot to learn from. And so now it learned a whole bunch of generalized versions of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it feels like there's endless amounts of versions, and that's what this is solving, is by giving those versions for training the robot.
That's right. So instead of giving it just one example, we're giving that robot millions of different examples.
Nvidia's CEO Jensen Huang recently came out to deliver a fiery message and shock the stock market about his changing strategy moving forward. Nvidia has made waves in the stock market by disclosing substantial new holdings in a very promising Chinese startup that will fund the future of robotaxis powered by Nvidia hardware. Will this bold strategy pay off for Jensen and Nvidia? Only one way to find out. Welcome back, everyone, to Investocracy.
Another area that was announced yesterday was around NVIDIA Drive AI, and really enhancing and helping the safety and security when it comes to autonomous vehicles. I know you also announced your partnership with Toyota as well, which is very exciting.
Yeah, that was big news.
Really big.
They're the largest car company in the world.
I know, it's very exciting. Where do you see that headed with NVIDIA Drive AI?
Well, we've been working on autonomous driving for some time, and it's already some $5 billion business for us. Yeah, and so the way that we serve the autonomous vehicle industry is through the three computer system: one for training the AI, one for simulating the AI called Omniverse, and one to put the AI in the car. And the car AI, safety is everything. And the way that you solve for safety, first, the algorithm has to be safe, and so it has to be smart about what to avoid and what, how to drive safely and such. But those are algorithm things. Even underneath that, the operating system has to be designed to be safe. the car computer has to design to be safe, in the sense that it can't fail. And if it were to fail, it would fail safely. There's a whole bunch of very complex technology that's associated with diversity of algorithms and redundancy of computing, and all of this complex technology makes it possible to be safe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so interesting you say that, because it is, from a consumer standpoint, you think of the safety more so from, detecting objects or whatnot. But to your point, there's so many layers to it. It goes down all the way down to the algorithm, really, is where it begins.
That's right. And the more diversity you have and the more redundancy that you have, the more safe the system will be.
Nvidia's acquisition of 1.74 million shares in WeRide signifies a robust endorsement of WeRide's prowess within the autonomous vehicle landscape. Captured within this enthusiastic atmosphere is the recent launch of a robotaxi service jointly by Uber and WeRide in Abu Dhabi, marking a notable milestone in autonomous transportation. This venture stands as Uber's largest commercial robotaxi service operation outside its strongholds and represents a step forward toward reducing human dependency in transportation logistics. But before going on with the video, are you into cryptocurrency? If so, check out our second channel, Investocracy Crypto. We bring you breaking news, expert analysis, and the latest trends in the fast-moving world of digital assets. Whether you're a seasoned crypto investor or just curious about the future of finance, we've got something for you. Click the link in the description to subscribe to Investocracy Crypto now. Don't miss out and stay ahead of the game. Now, let's get back to the video.
And you've led NVIDIA through gaming and so many AI breakthroughs.
Yeah.
Which emerging technology do you see or think will be the most impactful for us over the next decade?
Well, artificial intelligence is unquestionably the single most important technology of our time. And when you take a step back and ask yourself what would happen if we could scale intelligence and apply it and channel that capability and direct it at healthcare for drug discovery, or figuring out how to deal with climate change, or just building robotics, for example, the things that we're working on, so that we could deal with the aging population, declining population, and prevent and help alleviate the inflation that's going on everywhere by driving productivity into every single industry. There's just so many things that artificial intelligence is going to impact, and so that's why, as a company, we're all completely into it.
Yes.
Now, artificial intelligence affects all of our other businesses. From even though G-Force was really the vehicle that made artificial intelligence possible, AI has now gone back to G-Force and made computer graphics more amazing. Yeah, and it's just incredible what we're able to do now, combining artificial intelligence and computer graphics, and so we're using artificial intelligence we're combining it with physical sciences and revolutionizing the way we do scientific computing. We're combining it with the way that we design chips, so that we design better chips, and the way we develop better software. And so artificial intelligence is affecting everything that we do.
Yes.
And it's going to impact everything that every industry out there. So it's the single most important thing, undoubtedly.
And that brings me to a question. I have a lot of followers or viewers on my channel who are either in computer science or working in technology, and a common question asked is, there's so many areas within tech that you can get into or kind of grow your career into. It seems like artificial intelligence, from both the business and technical standpoint, is definitely a great area for them to continue to pursue.
Yeah, I think of course there's contributing to the basic science of artificial intelligence, and I think that's terrific. However, the next decade, the application of artificial intelligence, the applied sciences, is going to be really important.
Yes.
I work with ChatGPT as a companion every day, and so I have ChatGPT on all the time, and I'm asking it questions and working with it to solve problems. You have to learn how to interact with AI, and prompting, as you know, has a real art to it, and there's art and science associated with prompting. And so the way you interact with people, the way you interact with AIs, you're going to have to learn how to do that. And how do you apply AI to content creation? How do you apply AI to engineering, or how do you apply AI to software development, or how do you apply AI to marketing or finance or the legal profession, whatever field that you're interested in?
Yeah.
How do you apply AI to that? That's an area that I think is worthy of a lot of research and a lot of development. And so I think the whereas my generation was really about how do we apply computers to solve chip design and software engineering. This generation is how do we apply AI to solve answer all of those same basic questions. How do I apply AI to forestry? How do I apply AI to oceanography? How do I, so on and so forth.
Nvidia, meanwhile, flexing its strategic acumen, has adjusted its holdings, even reducing its stake in ARM holdings from 1.96 million shares to 1.1 million during the same quarter. Simultaneously, Nvidia has retired its stake in multiple AI-centric companies to concentrate its focus perhaps on what they envision as the unstoppable momentum of autonomous tech. But before going any further, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
You have Omniverse, and my understanding is this is 3D worlds that help train robotic systems so that they don't need to train in the physical world.
That's exactly right.
You just announced Cosmos, which is ways to make that 3D universe much more realistic. So you can get all kinds of different, if we're training something on this table, many different kinds of lighting on the table, many different times of day, many different, experiences for the robot to go through so that it can get even more out of Omniverse. As a kid who grew up loving data on Star Trek, Isaac Asimov's books, and just dreaming about a future with robots, how do we get from the robots that we have now to the future world that you see of robotics?
Yeah. Let me use language models, maybe ChatGPT, as a reference for understanding Omniverse and Cosmos. And so first of all, when ChatGPT first came out, it was extraordinary, and it has the ability to do to basically from your prompt generate text. However, as amazing as it was, it has the tendency to hallucinate if it goes on too long, or if it pontificates about a topic it is not informed about. It'll still do a good job generating plausible answers. It just wasn't grounded into truth, and so people called it hallucination. And so the next generation, shortly, it had the ability to be conditioned by context. So you could upload your PDF, and now it's grounded by the PDF. The PDF becomes the ground truth. It could actually look up search, and then the search becomes its ground truth. And between that, it could reason about how to produce the answer that you're asking for. And so the first part is a generative AI, and the second part is ground truth. Okay, and so now let's come into the physical world, the world model. We need a foundation model, just like we need ChatGPT had a core foundation model. That was the breakthrough.
As the dust settles in an ever-volatile market, the calculated maneuvers by Nvidia highlight WeRide as an enticing opportunity for future-focused investors. With Uber's sizable footprint aiding its expansion and expert endorsements adding credibility to its innovations, WeRide is poised at the forefront of the L4+ autonomous vehicle trend. But what do you think? Share your thoughts. Finally, if you would like to know what companies like Nvidia have been up to these past few days, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.